we thank Ms. Denise Poa and various members for your well-intentioned suggestions. And let me assure you that MOE is open to considering new ideas. In fact, we constantly challenge ourselves to relook our own assumptions and come up with and consider new ideas, whether they are from our fraternity of educators, members of this House, members of the public, or experiences of other countries. But our approach must first correctly define the problem before we go into solutioning. The through train proposal from primary to secondary school idea, as Mr. Nispoa said, is not new. Other countries have variations of it with varying outcomes depending on their goals. And one can even make the argument that the affiliated schools in Singapore are a variant of this idea. The question is, what goals do we want to achieve in making this change? Is it to reduce stress? Is it to remove high-stakes exams for young children? Is it to free up space and time for students to pursue other dimensions of growth, as Ms. Denise Poa mentioned? Is it inclusiveness so that our students experience the richness of the Singaporean community? Is it to promote more social mixing in our schools? Or is it all the above and more? Then we should ask ourselves, if a true train will a true train achieve all this? And what are the fundamental, or perhaps more fundamental issues that we have to grapple with? For example, stress. Are we stressed because we cannot meet the standards we set for ourselves and our children? Or are we stressed because we want to keep up with others in a rat race? And will the proposal solve this problem? Would we end up shifting the competition for our preferred secondary school earlier to a preferred primary school through, say, a P1 registration contest or even a preschool leaving exam? And if we continue to see exam as a competition for preferred school, instead of right-sighting our students for the next segment of their learning journey, then will removing PSLE alone solve the problem? Or will it concentrate the stakes at an even higher level at the O-level and A-level stage? And if we do not post students to schools appropriate for their learning needs, how will we make better use of our finite resources to achieve the best holistic outcomes for different students? And if we remove one major exam, but our mindsets do not change, will we gain more time and space for the diverse skill sets that we wish for our children, as I have shared in my story earlier during my speech? On the other hand, if we can truly change our mindsets to respect and pursue diverse strengths, then do we still need to focus narrowly on having or removing a single exam? And in fact, today, we have already assured every of our children that regardless of the outcome in any particular exam, the pathways are porous enough for you to pivot into areas that you find your passion in subsequent in life. And this goes even beyond our school system. And if our society recognizes and rewards diverse skill sets, will we still pursue a narrow definition of success indicated by a PSLE or O-level score? No, as previously mentioned, the operational issues that we need to step through are not trivial. Who gets to go into a true train program? Who gets to decide whether a person can stay or stay in a true train program? Who gets to go in? Who gets to go out? So there are things that we need to step through. And I thank members for your support for the ministry's work. But let me say this, no system is perfect in meeting everyone's desires and needs. But we try our best to provide every child with education option that meets his or her needs. And today I'd like to share a slogan that is close to my heart. And this is called, for every child, a good school. At every age, a good learner. For every child, a good school means that we don't need to go and chase after what other people desire as a popular school. But instead, we put our children at the center of all that we do and consider our children's need and what is most appropriate for his or her learning need. That's why, to me, for every child, a good school at every age a good learner to go beyond just the first 15 years. And this is why we have embarked on multiple pathways of success. This is why we have gone on a porous and continuous meritocracy where everyone can pivot and pursue different options as they progress in life without being defined by the stakes of one high-stake exam. And this is why we are reducing exam load with learn more, test less. And this is why we have just announced what we did for the L1R5 to L1R4. This is also why we group students according to their abilities and interests in different domains at different stages of their learning journey, like FSBB, so that we don't teach to a child's average ability or a class average abilities. And this is why we continue to have social mixing to bring together children from different backgrounds in the same class so that they learn to work with people from different backgrounds. This is also why we have a more open P1 registration process where we balance the building of a school culture and tradition with the egalitarian ethos and culture of being non-exclusive that we so cherish as Singaporeans. This is why we are adopting EdTech to customize teaching and learning so that we can transcend teaching to the average and achieve the effective class size of 1, overcoming the conventional public education trilemma of achieving quality, scale, and affordability at the same time. And I think we can do that because today, with the science of learning and the technology and the data that we have the best chance in the history of the education profession for us to break this trilemma. So, Chair, we appreciate the members' concerns for our children's interests at heart, and we will continue to review our policies and programs to better equip our students. And I call on members of this House to join us in this journey, to change our mindsets as we evolve our policies and programs. I don't believe that we can't change our mindsets. You read my speech at the MOE, NIE, and IPS seminar. Our society mindset, our culture has evolved. We can do it, and we need these two to move in tandem, changing structures and processes with the changing of cultures and mindset.